Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a video on how to maintain and change your oil on the Hawk 250. Also, we're gonna adjust the chain and we're gonna go around the bike to make sure everything is tight, everything is safe for you to continue doing your ride outside and without you getting hurt. So here we go. We're gonna do the oil change, and I want to make this nice and short because it doesn't take that long. I got a 15-16 socket. I got a 5/8 socket. I got a Sharpie, and I got a 9/16 to adjust the chain in the back, and I got my funnel. Here's the oil that I use. Now you guys gotta know that I live in the desert, so this bike is not liquid cooled, so you definitely need to use something when it's those high temperatures. You need an oil that's gonna make sure that it's not gonna break down with the heat. So I got a 250 synthetic, full synthetic Lucas motorcycle oil. This is what I've been using for my bike from the beginning. I got this clear container because I like to look at my oil after I drain it and make sure there's no shaving and any kind of pieces of metal. So this video is gonna be fast and quick because it doesn't take that long to change the oil on the Hawk 250. And I'm making the video so that way for a lot of you new guys that are thinking about purchasing the Hawk 250, so you can see that it's not really hard at all to maintain this bike. It's real simple. It don't take that long. And let's get started. So here we go. I'm just gonna show you one thing here. Right under the bike, you got your draining hole right here. All you gotta do is loosen this up, and you can drain it from there. But on the Hawk 250, the filter is on the side, right here. I just take this off, take the filter out, and let it drain from there. And I barely never drain the oil from the bottom. I just try to do this the easiest, quickest possible to change the oil. So here we go. Let's get this started. So you're gonna take your 15-16 socket. Get that ready here to the side. I'm gonna put my container to catch my dirty oil. And of course, if you're changing your oil outside, you don't have to worry about spilling all over the place like I am right now. But I live in the desert, like I said earlier, and it's like 110 degrees outside, and trust me, I do not want to be outside changing nothing, not even to look at the freaking floor. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and lose up the drain so we can drain the oil. So I'll take my 15-16 socket, and we're gonna turn to the left, loosey, right? To start loosening it up, get your container ready to catch the oil because it's gonna come out in a hurry. So I need to loosen it up just a hair more. This is real simple, guys. And me, I change the oil on this bike every 600 miles. Just because it doesn't take a lot of oil on this bike. Plus, you gotta understand this is this is air cool, and this oil even if it's full synthetic, it breaks down quite a bit, and you really want to keep your oil fresh. It doesn't really cost that much for a quart of Lucas motorcycle synthetic oil. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is around $9. So you can see it is draining. Here's the spring. Once you take this out, the spring gonna come right behind it, guys. And just make sure the same way you took it out, make sure you're gonna put it back, okay? I'm making this video because I noticed that there's a lot of new subscribers, and and a lot of new guys that watching my channel are guys under 30 years old, and I really appreciate you guys for watching the channel and for subscribing. I appreciate that a lot. I really appreciate all your support. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. No, my channel is not one of the best channel out there, but at least I'm putting effort to put information out there and helping people with their questions. So right behind it is going to be the filter. Now this filter is like a metal filter, and you can see so much of the filter. Let me shine it with the light. This is the filter for this bike. So, you know, think about it, guys. It's not so much of a filter. So, do you want to, you know, do your oil change every 2,000 miles on your Hawk in a small little engine like this? I really do not recommend it. This is a small engine, and it doesn't take a lot of oil. Plus, this is air cooled, so you do not want to try to go as far as you can with your oil. At least every 600 miles I change my oil. Now it's your bike, your own personal stuff. You guys can do whatever you feel like. Myself, I would recommend to at least keep your oil, you know, fresh, and always worth changing your oil. You can see the oil is coming down a little slow. I always use this right here to raise my bike, because, you know, on the Hawk, it's when she leans a little too much to the left. So I use that to at least I can get the bike a little straighter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this out of the kickstand, and I'm gonna try to just lean the bike a little more, because I want all that oil to drain out of it, all of it. I don't want to leave too much oil in there. And yes, you know, I always just leave it drain as long as it takes. So I said I was gonna make a quick video. Now, you know, I got you guys watching oil draining out of the motor. So anyway, just so you guys can get the idea of how I do it. Okay, so while this is draining, I'm gonna start cleaning my filter and my spring. So here's the spring. Remember, the filter goes like here, like so. Okay, guys, and then this right here go right behind it, and this is how you insert it back. Do not go around and put this way. That's the wrong way. Okay, you're gonna put with the filter in like that, with this right behind it, and then it's gonna start tightening up, and you can see what happened. The spring gonna keep that wire filter inside there without moving. So that's what you want to do. Okay, so what I do, I just wipe the oil filter with a rag. You know, if you got WD-40 or anything like that, you can spray it on it, or any kind of brake cleaner, you can spray it on this match filter. But really, this, you know, you really don't have to do any of that. I'm just saying, if you're that kind of guy that you're like, oh my God, this has gotta be clean, you know, you can do that. You can see I just took the rag and I clean it, and it looks pretty damn well. Also, what I do, I also take the rag and take this right here. This is the cover of the oil. Clean it in the inside. You can see there's nasty oil in there. You want to make sure you clean all that out, you know, in case any shaving, metal shaving inside there or whatnot. You want that to be clean. So here we go. Take a rag and go around that ring right here. Wipe it around it. Make sure you get all the crust and nasty shit out of that. You don't want to put that back on with dirt and grime, because then it would not perform a good seal, and then your bike will start leaking, and you don't want no leaks, and you don't want, you know, losing any oil that is gonna cause your bike to break down. You know, you want to make sure everything goes back the same way you put it. You know, the same way you want to make sure everything goes back the same way you took it out. So You can see I wiped it down, put it here. Now you can see now there's finally coming down to an end, or the dripping with the oil, and you can see that oil, it was only 600 miles old, and you can see that oil is pretty dang disgusting, guys. Okay, like I said, I every 600 miles I change my oil. So I just finally hit that 2020, and I got close to 2,100 miles because I just did that 2,000 mile review, and I was all over the place with the bike. So I want to make sure that I change the oil for the next time I go out. So also make sure you wipe the spring. Take the rag and go around like that. Clean that spring real good, and don't leave no fuzz in there. Take that, make that right there needs to be nice and clean. Okay, fellas? All right, boys and girls, because I know now we got girls too getting the Hawk 250. So this is a bike for everybody, female, male, you know, and midget, whoever the hell they want to ride the damn Hawk. Whoa. All right, let me lift the bike back up. She's still dripping. Let her drip. Let her drip. You know, don't get in a hurry to put, you know, the filter back on. Let that all that oil come out of the bike. You know. Also, too, the next thing you want to do is your oil. Make sure you take your cap right here where you check your oil. Take it off. That helps to drain a lot quicker. Just take it right off. But I take it right here to the pack, and I just leave it right there. Okay, so that's where you're gonna fill your oil. Now you can check your oil with your dipstick right here. This is your dipstick. This is how you check your oil. Also, when you filled up your motor, you fill up your bike, you got that little window right here, and you got a little slash right here in the side that it should be around at least half of that window. But myself, I always check my oil with the dipstick. I just don't always half of the window is good. I check mine through the dipstick. Okay, guys? Okay, now we're just gonna start putting the filter back on. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Okay, when I'm gonna put the filter back on, guys, I come under here and take my rag and clean that inside there as well. Make sure all that is clean. There's no debris, and make sure your threads are clean. That's how what I do. I stick my finger in there, take all that out. All right, we're gonna get the filter right here. The filter is gonna go inside the spring. I'm still dripping, guys, so let's be patient and just let it drip. You can see even in the last of the drip, it's pretty dirty oil still coming out of it. And it'll be a lot faster if you take the volt from the bottom, but I just do it. This is the way I do it. All right, so wipe her down. Take your filter with your spring, insert it right inside there. Now you're gonna take this right here, you're gonna put it right behind it, you're gonna put some pressure in it, take your finger and start turning it to the right. Okay, righty tighty. So we turn it to the right, just nice and even. Don't put that cockeye and try to tighten up sideways on it, because then you're gonna have problem. You know, you want to make sure you're gonna see when you press on it, you're gonna see you got that spring loaded. All right, now you're gonna take your ratchet, and we're gonna tighten it up. And now when we talk about tighten, it's just tighten, guys. Don't sit there and just turk this shit to hell, man. All this need to be is just tighten it, not sitting there turk it. So just make sure you don't want to screw nothing up. So when you get it up to here, just give it a little force. Boom. When it feels, don't give it too much. Right there. Boom. Done. Take your rag, clean any surface oil on it from the bottom so it doesn't drip anymore. And you can see that my cleaning skills are getting pretty laid back here, because my bike never used to be this dirty on the bottom. And I used to say that in one of my videos of how that dirt starts to pancake on your engine, and if you leave that there like that, it's just gonna commute more and more and more, and then before you know, the whole entire bottom of your motor is gonna be full of old dirt, and then that thing's gonna stick in there, and it's gonna be hard to take off. So next time I wash my bike, I clean that real good and spread WD-40 so the shit doesn't stick. I've been pretty much being very lazy with my bike, and that's the way it looks that way. So what I do with the oil, once I pour it in this clear container, and this is what I like to pour in the clear container, because I like to look at the oil. Okay, I like to look at the oil and see if you see any kind of metal shaving in your oil. And you can see that, you know, metal shaving, you're gonna see a lot of it's like literally when you paint a car and you put all that flake on the paint, you're gonna see a lot of metal flake in the oil. And you can see that this oil, the only thing that's wrong with it is just disgusting. You know, it's dirty. You know, you might can go 1,000 miles, you know, change the oil every 1,000 miles on your bike. I'm sure you can push it that far, but I do not like doing that to the Hawk. Like I said, this is the air-cooled bike. This is all the oil on the bike, guys. You know, and for $8-9, why not change that oil at least every 600 miles? And at least you always, you know, you always cruising around with the fresh oil on your bike, and at least you know, you want to prevent from having any issues with the bike. You know, you want the bike to be running well. And I know, you know, this bike, you know, it's already a 2-year-old bike, so you can see it's getting wore out here with the shifter, with my boot rolling this back and forth. So, you know, everything is gonna wear out. All right, let me stop talking so much and start pouring this oil. All right, so we're gonna start pouring the oil in. We take our funnel, we put it right there. You see how nice and clear that oil is? That's what you want, man. You want that nice clean oil. You know, I mean, this bike is a very cheap bike, so you want to maintain that motor. How much I pour on it? Well, I pour almost the whole quart, guys. Almost the whole quart. So right now I still got a half a quart, so I'm still pouring. And I know, because I've done the oil already several times, so I know how much to pour. So you pour almost the whole quart. I will say that right here, you can see I got, that says 4 ounces, 8 ounces. I got about 8 ounces left on the whole quart. Now I want to start checking and making sure that I am close to being full. So take your funnel out, and you know, to do that, your bike needs to be straight. So I'm gonna stick this rags on here, right there. This is what I got. This is how I maintain my bike so I can get her straight. I'm just gonna take this, fold it like so. I'm gonna put it right in here, and I'm gonna try to get my bike as straight that I can get her. You know, and that's right there. That right there is pretty damn straight. So you know what I mean? It's good if you want to use a jack to get her straight, but your bike needs to be straight, just like so. This is how straight. You want your bike to be straight. If you get just a little bit of leaning, that's okay, as long as it's not too much. Okay, so now you want to stick your dipstick in here, right in there. You don't have to thread the dipstick all the way. Just put it straight. Make sure you got it all the way straight. Take it right out. Look at your dipstick. You can see the oil is almost half of it. Okay, a little above half. So we almost there. That's straight. Yeah, you see? Leave about 4 ounces left on the damn quart on the bottom. Take your funnel right out. Clean your dipstick one more time. Stick your dipstick back inside of her. Put it. Make sure she's straight, guys. Don't be doing sideways. Take your dipstick out, and now you can see that she's right on the money. She's right on the money, and she's leaning to the left a little bit, so she's good. So this is what you want to do, guys. Put the whole entire quart. And just when you put the whole entire quart, make sure you got 4 ounces left, and that's all it takes. It doesn't take the whole entire quart, should I say it. So when you put the oil in, make sure you got at least 4 ounces left. Don't put the whole entire quart in it. So you're gonna put the dipstick back on. You're gonna tie that baby up. All right, so once you know you have 4 ounces left on the quart, she's full. That's all the oil that the bike needs right there. Once that oil is done, you're gonna put the dipstick back on, wipe her down real good. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the dipstick in. What I do, I give it about 1 or 2 turns, then unscrew it back off. Now double check, and you can see she's all the way to the top. So that's about it, guys. The Hawk already got an oil change, and that is as simple as you can change the oil. You turn it to the right. You don't have to tie too much. We're just with your finger, boom. The deal is, make sure your chain is tightened up. You can see that I got a lot of slag on this chain. Let me do it from the bottom. See? That's quite a bit. And this is what I do. This is my Sharpie. And this is what I like to do in an easy way for me to adjust this chain. What I do is that I'm gonna put a line right here. And a line right on the bolt. Okay? Then you're gonna do the same thing here. On the bottom, you're gonna put a line and a line right on the bolt. So when you turn that screw, if you turn this line all the way to the bottom, you got a half turn. The same thing you want to do to the other side, guys. Go ahead, take your Sharpie, put a line on it, put a line right here, put a line on the bottom, put a line on the bolt. So now what we're gonna do is we can start tightening this chain. Got that pretty damn tight. And you want to get her tight. That's all you want to lose on it. Now you're going to take your 9/16, and here's your 9/16, and here's the trick that I got, guys. Here's the bolt. Turn it all the way onto the mark on the bottom meets that mark on top. Now you just did a half a turn. We're gonna do the same thing here. Turn it all the way until that mark in the bottom meets the top. Now you did a half turn here and a half turn there. So that's what you need that Sharpie for. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check the chain. And now you can see that just in the half turn, I got it about, I would say about not even a half an inch loose on the chain. That is perfect. you know. See, that's all it took, just a half turn. So now all we're gonna do is start tightening this sucker up, and you adjust of the chain is done. So you see that if you own the Hawk, I know you gotta do a lot of maintenance on it because it's a Chinese motorcycle. It doesn't really matter if it's Chinese or, you know, whatever, or Japanese bike. You always gotta maintain with your maintenance on your bike. You know, make sure when you look at the bolt, nothing's threatening out, everything is tightened up well, the chain is tightened up good, you got some movement on your chain. It's about a ½ an inch. When I say a ½ an inch, when you go down and you go up, down and up, from here to there, give yourself about a ½ an inch. That's nice and tight. Okay, so you got the chain tightened up. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna go look over your bike. Make sure everything's good in your bike, guys. Before, you know, you change your oil. Every time you change your oil, it's the time you go around, you inspect every screw and everything. Check out your brake pads. You can see that this is how much brake pad this bike got left. So you got quite a bit of brake pad. So, okay, she's good with the brake pad. Everything is good. Go around the bolt. Nothing's loosened up. Everything is great. And what I do with this, I always take my Sharpie, make a mark here, make a mark right there, and make a mark through your thread. And when I look at my bike, I always see that if I see that mark right there, it's already on this side, it's something going on. I need to, you know, pay attention to it. But that's how I, you know, mark my bolts. I know you're probably thinking, where the hell this guy came from? This is the way I do it. I know in the past, when I first got this bike, I was telling you guys on my, whoa, that was a year ago, how I took all my switches and all my connectors, and I took some 6-black baggies and I wrapped them around, and then I put some black tape around it, and you can still see it's been 2 years that I did that. And you can see that's nice and tight, dry. I don't have no goddamn problem. I know you can do some electrical grease and stuff like that. Me, I use what the hell I got in my cabinets. I got me some Ziploc bags, and I make like I cut it in the end like a cone, wrap it around some black tape, and that's how I maintain all my wires to be dry. So you're gonna see, you're gonna go around, you're gonna look at your brakes. On your rear brakes, she got plenty of oil, so you're gonna inspect that. Make sure your air breather for your motor right here is still there intact, because remember, I took the air box out of it. So that's how I got mine. And I see some guys that they took my idea and they do the same thing, so that's great. So now that you check your rear wheel, everything's tightened up. Go around, make sure the screws or everything is tightened up. There's no missing screws. Everything's looking good. You can see that in the front. My front bolt is still there. It's nothing loose. Go around your wheel, inspect your brake pads in the front. Go around to inspect your brake pad in the front. You might gonna have to move your wheel. Shine your light right on it. You can see your brake pad. You still got plenty of brake pad left. You want to check your rotor. Make sure there's nothing broken on your rotor itself. So in one tech, you want to check your spokes. Move your spoke with your hands. If your spoke start fitting loose, you need to tighten up your spokes. And thank the Lord I never had any problem with my spokes. So the bike is good. Now I did lose one of the screw from here that holds the motor. So this is what I was saying to you, that you always got to do the inspection. So every 600 miles that you change your oil, go around and make sure you got all your screws in your bike, because I lost one. and I replaced it. So you know, so everything tightened up. Your shift is good. All your bolts and screws, everything is good. No oil around the bike, nothing's dripping out of it. Now this right here, this part right here broke from my bike. It used to be right here in the side, right here, coming up inside here, and it broke. And I took some zip tie and I got it around, and I zip tied it to the frame of it, and I got it up because it started falling down right on the starter. And you can see that we're falling the starter. It was making a connector, and the bike didn't want to start. So you got to keep your eye on this right here, man, because that right there, it broke, and it was sitting right on top of the starter, and I had problems. So keep your eyes on that. Make sure that bolt right there is still there. Make sure your bolts right here on the muffler are still there. You know, the studs, everything's looking good. Nothing looks broken. There's no leak coming out of the heads. You know, you gotta make sure all that is taken care of like that. Go around your bike. Again, check your spokes in the back. Move your spokes around. Put your hands in there, squeeze them. Everything's tightened up. Everything's good. Your plate is good. And then what you want to do with your bike is the last thing to do, your last maintenance and inspection of your bike. Make sure you brake, all your brakes and everything is working correctly. Okay? Because the last thing you want is you know, somebody to run you over. Make sure you know, your brake lights, your turn signals, everything is working correctly. Make sure your lights are working, and everything is working correctly. Making sure your signal are working, and pretty much that's it, guys. All right, so once you know, change the oil, you go around the bike, make sure everything is correct, make sure everything is tightened up, make sure your chain is tightened up, make sure your brake pads, everything is looking good. That way you can keep yourself safe on the road. Make sure you go around the handlebars, look around, there's no crack on the handlebars, on your risers, go around, everything's looking good. Your clutch, it should always be like this, nothing that is halfway over here and you got all that play. Make sure your clutch is nice and flush. That when you press your clutch right from the start, you get in contact with your clutch. So make sure your clutch is working correctly. And there you go, guys. Make sure your throttle doesn't have a lot of play. So if you go around, and I adjusted this right here, and make sure that here it used to be huge play right here. It used to be a long. By the time I hit the throttle, it used to take a long time by the time it start turning the throttle body. So now when I turn it, see, make sure you don't have a lot of play on that. So you can make sure you got that tightened up. Make sure this bolt right here is tightened up as well, because that's for the clutch. And you know, inspect your pegs, make sure they not have anything broken on it. Once you go over your whole entire bike and you see there's no bolt missing, and everything's looking good, guys, you are safe to be out there on the road. So that is the one-on-one advice I got for you guys, and I hope you guys like this video. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Please don't forget to give me a like on my videos. I really appreciate your feedback, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.